Hello students, this video is in continuation with my previous video where I shared with you external and internal structure of Markov shells in different genera. In this video, I am going to share with you the means of reproduction in Markov shells. Students, you know very well, for continuity of life, reproduction is very important. And in plants, means of reproduction are vegetative, asexual as well as sexual. But in bryophytes, mainly vegetative and sexual means of reproduction are more prominent. And vegetative reproduction takes place by following different methods. First is fragmentation. As the name suggests, here thallus break down into small fragments which further regenerate to form whole thallus, and it is very common in Riccia and Markensia. In first three diagrams you can see thallus decay or degenerate into small fragments, and these fragments then form new thallus. Second mode of vegetative reproduction is by adventitious branches. Adventitious branches arises from the underside of the midrib and these separate to form new thallus. And example are Tarchigonia and Riccia flutens. So you can see here adventitious branches, they arises from underside of the midrib. They separate and they form new thallus. The third mean of vegetative reproduction is by formation of gamma cup, and it is most prominent means of reproduction in Markov shells. For example, in Markensia and Lunularia. As you can see in the image, they are cup-like structure produced on the dorsal surface, and a single gamma appear 8 like in structure. Gamma are produced inside the gamma cup. In this image you can see gamma are produced and they are intermixed with the mucilase hair. These mucilase hair help in the dispersal of gamma. Gamma after dispersal develop into new thallus. In this image you can see flask shaped gamma receptacle bearing gamma at its apex. Next means of vegetative reproduction is by formation of tuber. Tuber are produced in Riccia bilhardirea, Riccia vesicata, Axormorphica, tuberifera and Cythodium tuberosum. You can see here tubers are produced on the dorsal surface and on favorable condition they are dispersed to the distant area and then they develop into new thallus. Students, by these four means, vegetative reproduction in Markov shells takes place, and these are very simple: by fragmentation, by adventitious branches, by gamma cup as well as by tuber formation, and most prominent one is by formation of gamma cup. Next is sexual reproduction. It is of oogamous type, means here motile male gamete fuse with the non-motile female gamete. Male sex organs are antheridia and female sex organs are archegonia. And the thallus may be homothallic or monoecious as well as heterothallic or dioecious. Students, in some forms, sex organs may be worn on the same thallus. For example, in Riccia crystallina, Riccia bilhardirea, Tarchigonia and some species of Cythodium, where both male and female sex organs are present on the same thallus, while in heterothallic or dioecious condition both male and female sex organs are produced on the different thalli. For example, Markensia, Riccia quadrata, Riccia discolor, Riccia frosty, etc. The sex organs arise in acropetal succession, that is, youngest at the apex and oldest at the base. They appear on the dorsal surface of the thallus along the median longitudinal groove in the simplest form. They occur singly as well as they may be scattered, each in a separate cavity on the dorsal side of the thallus. For example, in Riccia. So let's know much more about the antheridia. Sometimes sex organs tend to be aggregate into groups and are restricted to special localized cushion-like area on the thallus which are known as receptacle, as you can see in these images. Receptacle means whole disc that bear antheridium, or you can say it is upper broad zone bearing antheridium as well as archegonia. The antheridium bearing stalked receptacle is called antheridophore, as you can see in these images. The stalk bearing antheridium or disc like antheridium at the apex is called antheridophore, while the stalk bearing receptacle for archegonia is called archegoniophore. The receptacle may be sessile, but in advanced member of the order they are stalked, for example in Markensia. In some species the male receptacle may be sessile while female one is stalked, and example is Estrella blumiana. So students, you can see clearly that both antheridia and archegonia, they are present on the receptacle, and receptacle may be sessile or stalked. When it is stalked, then we called it antheridophore or archegoniophore. Next is antheridia. As the antheridia are produced on the male reproductive part, that is known as antheridophore, and they are produced in a disc-like structure, that is receptacle bearing antheridium. The body of the antheridium has a wall of single layer of strial cell, as you can see in this image. The outermost layer is a single layer and it is strial in nature. It surrounds a mass of small squarish or cubical cell called the androcytes, and androcytes are produced from the androcyte mother cell by undergoing mitotic division. The later produce the biflagellate male gamete called sperms. Several sperms are produced in each antheridium. Each sperm is motile, usually consists of a minute, slender, spirally curved body furnished by two long terminal pipless type flagella, as you can see in this image. Antheridium which are produced over the antheridophore will finally produce minute motile sperms with two pipless type flagella. Next is archegonia. Archegonia bearing stalked receptacle is called archegoniophore, as you can see here in the image. Archegonium is a flask-shaped organ, unlike the male reproductive part that is disc-like. The slender elongated upper portion is called neck and the lower sac-like swollen portion is called venter, as you can see in this image. The swollen basal portion is venter while the narrow portion is neck. The venter is usually embedded in the parent plant body, as you can see in this image. The neck has a wall of a single layer of strial cell which surround a central row of elongated naked cell called as the neck canal cell, as you can see in this image. So here you will see neck canal cells are there surrounded by the neck cell. The neck is usually projected or freely exposed. The venter also has a wall of strial cell, one or more cell layer in thickness. Venter has larger egg and the smaller venter canal cell. So students, you can see very clearly in this image that swollen portion is venter while narrow portion is neck, and in venter you will see two prominent cell, that is egg cell as well as venter cell, as you can see in this image. Next stage is fertilization. At maturity, the antheridium ruptures at its apex, liberating the sperm, and you can see they can rupture from the ostiole, and from ostiole sperms are released. At the same time, the axial row of neck canal cell and venter canal cell disorganize. A narrow canal opens to the exterior is formed. The liberated sperm swim in a thin film of water and reach to archegonium and finally to the egg. Thus, water is necessary in the life cycle, especially for movement of sperms from the male plant to the female plant. That's why we call bryophytes as amphibian of the plant kingdom. First, one sperm reach there, fuses with the egg and zygote is formed. With the act of fertilization, the gametophyte generation ends and the sporophyte generation starts. So students, as soon as the zygote is formed, sporophytic generation starts. The zygote is the first cell of sporophytic generation. It produces diploid sporophytic plant body that is called sporogonium, which is attached to the parent gametophyte and is nourished by it. Student, as you can see, archegonia are present on the archegoniophore and they are producing the non-motile spore, that is egg, and sperms they move from antheridium to archegonia. So at this portion archegonium finally develop into sporophyte when its egg get fertilized by the sperm. The sporogonium is concerned with the production and dispersal of the haploid spore. Because sporogonium is diploid and to maintain the genetic constitution and to complete the life cycle, there should be some reductional division. So in sporophyte you will see meiosis takes place and it produces haploid spores. The sporogonium in all the Marken shells remain covered and thus protected by the calyptra until the spore within the sporogonium or capsule mature. All the cells of the sporogenous tissue may produce spores or a part of them produce trial cell called elaters. So students, elaters play very important role in Marken shells because they help in the dispersal of the spore. Among the lower Marken shells, the simplest type of sporogonium is found in Riccia, that is in family Ricciaceae, where it is represented only by capsule, as you can see in this image. Foot and setae are absent. The sporogonium thus never project above the surface of the thallus and remain covered by calyptra. So the function of calyptra is to protect the developing spores. It consists of a peripheral layer of cell constituting the capsule wall and a central mass of spore mother cell, practically all of which produce spores. The sporogonium in Courcinea is differentiated into basal portion, the foot, which is absorbing the metapsule region concerned with the spore production. So students, here you can see sporogonium in Riccia and here they lack setae as well as foot. In Courcinea there is no seta. The capsule has one cell thick jacket. All the cells of the sporogonium tissue may produce mother cell or a part of them produce trial cell or elaters. Spore mother cell differentiate into haploid spore. You can see in this image that in Courcinea no seta is there and we have only foot as well as capsule for production of spores. The sporogonium in the higher Marken shell, Archegonia and Markensia has in addition a slender stalk like structure, the setae in between the foot and capsule. As you can see in this image, you can see here three main parts of the sporogonium are there: foot for absorbing nutrients, setae for conduction and capsule for production of spores and elaters. With the ripening of spore, the capsule is forced through the calyptra and placed in a position favorable for the dispersal of spore by wind. So you can see at the maturity, calyptra will rupture and it is ready to expose spores as well as elater for the hygroscopic movement. So students, you can see here different type of sporogonium in Marken shells. First category is Riccia, where you see no setae and foot is there. Second category is Courcinea, as I explained to you, it lacks setae. Third category is Markensia, which is totally differentiated into foot, setae and capsule, and it is protected by the calyptra, a surrounding layer. In Tarchigonia, you will see foot, setae and capsule, but it is not as differentiated as in case of Markensia. Students, as you can see in the sporogonium, both spores and elaters, they are produced by reductional division, and it is the sporogonium where meiosis takes place, while during production of gametes, that is in Antheridium and Archegonium, mitosis division takes place because we have main plant body gametophyte, so they produce haploid gamete and these haploid gamete fuse to form diploid zygote, and to maintain the genetic constitution, sporogonium which is developed from the zygote will undergo meiosis. and the spores are produced, they are haploid. Along with spores, elaters are also produced, which are elongated structure, and these elaters show hygroscopic movement, that is coiling and uncoiling. In dry weather they get coiled, or in wet weather they get uncoiled. Their coiling and uncoiling movement help in the dispersal of spore. Spore after dispersal seek favorable site, and in favorable condition they develop into main thallus, that is gametophytic in nature. So in this way life cycle get completed in Markenschales. So we just started with the main plant body, that is gametophyte. It produce either by vegetative or by the sexual means into new thallus. In vegetative means there is only haploid phase and no diploid phase in the life cycle. While in sexual reproduction we see that male gametophyte and female gametophyte, that is Anthedium and Archegonia, are produced. Anthedium leads to formation of sperm and Archegonia to the egg. After fertilization there is formation of zygote, and zygote is the diploid stage in the life cycle. Zygote after cell division will form sporogonium, and sporogonium is differentiated into foot, setae and capsule. In capsule there is meiosis division, and we have elaters and spores which are haploid. So students, you can see that all the cells of the capsules or the sporogonium are diploid except spore or elaters. Spores then disperse into the air and again produce haploid thallus. In this way, alternation of generation takes place in the Markenschales. So students, that's all about the reproduction in Markenschales. I hope you understood this topic. Thank you for listening.